Hello, my name is Joe from Switchrpg.com, and I'm here to look over this Pocket Monster themed dock. Of course, in full disclosure, the manufacturer did send over a unit for review purposes. With all that being said, let's look into this. Alright, as you can see, this is a Pocket Monster themed Switch dock. It comes with, really doesn't come much of anything. It's just the dock itself, no instructions at all, but it does have kind of like this neat little dust cover, so there's never any dust in there. It actually has also a rubberized foot on the bottom, so that isn't going anywhere. On the back of the dock, you can see there's an HDMI port, two USB 3.0s, and also a USB Type-C for the charging adapter. And I would always use the original adapter. This does not come with any sort of charging cable, so you will have to supply your own. And I always recommend using the original equipment if you have it. So I'm sure you can find that on the Nintendo website or, you know, any brick and mortar type of store. Here we have the back of the box. Reading on the back, Nintendo Switch TV mode and charging mode. One key to switch. You can see that there's a little button on the back side. It also states Flash architecture design. Firmware can be upgraded to adapt new hosts and new systems. Only S1 supports the upgrade. Now, I don't know what this means. So again, you'd have to do a little research in on that. I'm not sure. I did not tear this apart to actually see what was on the internals. So again, you're gonna want to, I don't know, read into that. Also says it supports up to 4K video output. The Nintendo Switch at its current state does not output into 4K, you know, barely outputs 1080p. So again, it supports up to 4K for whatever that is worth. It also states complies with USB-C PD specifications, support original Switch AC adapter or ordinary 5-volt 3-amp USB charger. So you're going to either want the original equipment or you're going to want something with those specifications. I wouldn't use anything more or less. You're going to want to stick with those because you just never know. You don't want to burn anything out. Again, as I've said, additional USB 3.0 ports can be used, various peripherals, things like charging cables for controllers. In fact, what I've done in this one, it says it supports 10 meg, 100 meg, and 1000 meg adaptive network interface. Again, only the S1, which is not what I tested, has a LAN port, but I was actually able to test the LAN speed with a USB 3.0 1 gig dongle, USB dongle. So I'm going to actually show you the results in there. They're actually quite interesting. So again, stay tuned for that later in the video. As you can see, I have a little bit of trouble getting this on the first shot. I really, it's so tough watching me do this and just really, you can see it. It's a really tight fit, but again, once it's in there, it's not going anywhere. I do get the hang of it where it goes in really kind of quickly. And again, this is kind of firmly in there. It's not moving. It's got the rubberized foot on there, so it's really not going anywhere. One thing I will say, it is rather difficult to take in and out. It's not like the regular dock where it just slides in, slides out. It's really kind of tough. You actually have to pick up the entire unit to take it off. That's how firmly it is in there. Whenever you want to switch it to tabletop mode to TV mode, you just one click of the button. It's really simple to do. It's on the bottom right hand side. There is a little bit of delay there in that. It actually kind of messed me up at one point where I clicked it. I'm like, oh no, it's not working. But there is a little bit of delay when you're going from tabletop to TV mode. Again, not a huge deal. Just kind of be aware of it, that there is a delay. Again, now for some technical stuff. This is just for LAN speeds if you're at all interested in anything like that. I tested the Antank dock as well as I have an OLED dock, but I'm not using an OLED switch. I call it a faux LED, but that's what I'm using. It's one of the original switches, but it's in an OLED dock. I tested the speeds with the USB dongle in the Antank dock, and then the speeds right out of the OLED dock. And they were different. And then that leads me to graphical fidelity. What I've done here is I've done a side by side. On the left, you have the OLED dock. On the right, you have the Antank Switch dock. Now, I really didn't notice too much in terms of graphical fidelity. I did notice there was some differences in brightness. So what I've done is I've run the intro for Pokemon Diamond on both the OLED dock and then the Antank Switch dock. Literally just switching HDMI cables. No other differences there. Again, there were minor differences in brightness. I didn't really notice any resolution differences. While that's running here in the background, I'll give you some of my final thoughts. Do I recommend the Antank Switch dock? I think it's really nice to have if you really just need an extra dock around the house. If you play a lot of tabletop, this is definitely going to be one for you because it's charging while you're playing tabletop. It does have that nice added feature where you can hook up to a TV. If you travel a lot, you can just bring it on along and just hook up to whatever TV you're going to. So I guess it does have it's really kind of subjective. So again, I'll leave that to you. What I've tested here is the Antank Switch dock S1. Again, it says up to 4K. I'm not sure. I wasn't able to test that, but there are different variations. There's also a yellow version, which looks more like Pikachu. Again, what I've tested is the white version. Do I recommend it? I think yes, mostly for people who are playing tabletop and travel quite a bit. It's really going to be kind of nice for you. So please like, share, and subscribe if you found this video at all helpful. And don't forget to visit Switchrpg.com for all your Nintendo Switch RPG needs.